So I have, for better or for worse, an elaborate cancer history. When I was a kid, back in '85, 14 years old, was diagnosed with a serious non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Because I was a baseball player growing up, got hit by a pitch right on my leg, and it literally hit the tumor spot of the disease. You know, you gotta remember this is 1985. It's not that long ago in the spectrum of time, but in the spectrum of medical research and cancer diagnosis, it's a lifetime. You have your menu of clinical trials to choose from. They're all research trials, and you pick the one that you hope works, and you do that. You sign up for aggressive month of chemo, then follow that with 18 cycles every other week, chemo regimen for 18 months, including a fun spinal tap with each one of those. It's like, the hell did I end up from the baseball diamond a month ago to this? I probably didn't fully appreciate the exact seriousness of the situation, but I was very much, even at that time, type A go-getter, and let's just, you know, this is the hand we're dealt, let's go to war. 14 years later, totally healthy, loving life. I was living in Bermuda. Everything was fine, and I just went in for a regular teeth cleaning with my dentist, except this time there's a small little flap of skin, little white spot in the back of my mouth, on my tongue. So your tongue goes kind of all the way back in your throat. But they did the biopsy, and we got the results back very quickly, and it turned out an aggressive squamous cell carcinoma of the tongue. So tongue cancer, it's a mouthful, but tongue cancer, and statistically incredibly improbable. It was aggressive, and we had to get that thing out of there right away. That sidetracked me even more than the childhood cancer experience, because I was already had my college degree and my MBA and my law degree, and was like working and like at a pretty high level with a business, and so all of a sudden everything comes screeching to a halt. We have to take out a significant part of your tongue, and the question is going to be, how far do we go? Because if we take out your entire tongue, we will probably get the cancer, but you'll never be able to talk. And if we take out too little, it may come back. This is 1999 now, so 15 years ago. It wasn't clear that the range of options I got from all top 10 centers in the country were all over the map in terms of how aggressive to be. So we did a pretty aggressive, it's called a hemiglissectomy of the tongue, where essentially a half moon is carved out of your tongue. The tip is left so you can still enunciate, and the rest of the tongue is all sewed back together in a way that with speech therapy and over time, you essentially train yourself to talk again. And I was fortunate to make it through and do the speech therapy and have, you know, now, knock wood, 15 years later, two-time survivor and no issues. I think that the doctors were just as smart back then, they just didn't have all the tools. I think now with technology, the way it's impacted other industries as well, medical research in particular, it's really helped. There's ways to collaborate that you could never easily do before to assemble pools of patients facing the same condition so you get the data. So without the data, you don't have science. And, you know, advances that are being made are literally at that exponential rate. And it's just like many other things, but certainly using technology in medical research is very expensive to do. And so I would say all of these research efforts, and particularly what we're doing with Laurie's Center and the H Foundation, is critical. And funding things at an early stage is also critical. A lot of times those aren't what get funded by the big national grants and so forth. So it's necessary. I mean, it's essentially what cures people. And so I think you have the bright young minds that want to do it, and they need funding.
Nobody is more inspirational to me than Ben, what he's been through, and taking a very, very difficult situation and making the best of it, and being a fighter, and using, you know, the tools that he learned along the way to help other people. It definitely shaped the wonderful person that he is.
I spent all my time thinking about how you get from A to B, and I guess that was probably honed originally through these cancer experiences, where if you don't get to the top of the mountain, there's no other mountain.